can come teach my kids every day. How about that?
Can I just stop right here for a second and say, Derek, you have 8 children. You are now my hero.
Not children. Some of them are grown up. But yeah, we have a lot of kids. But it's neither here nor there. I mean, you have one kid, you have 2 kids. They've been at home isolated for, what is it now, 6, 7, 8 weeks? I don't know. I've lose track now. And they don't open up. I mean, the cases are below 1,000. His big motto was open for business, and he closes everything down again and again and again. It's time, and then I voted Conservative all my life. In the next election, we need another alternative. We need more, back in the day, Mulroney became a Liberal and the Reform Party got started. We may as well start a new party in Ontario and vote out Doug Ford.
Are you worried about mental health for the children, or is it more that they've just got routine again?
It's a whole bunch of things. Yeah, mental health is part of it. I mean, kids need to be kids. They have to play with other kids and stuff. They have to have actual real-life social action. I mean, they shouldn't be glued to a screen, all day long, with this online learning. I mean, it's great, and they're trying to do the best they can, but it's not the same thing. It's just not the same, and he doesn't care. I mean, his priority was opening golf courses because Doug Ford has no kids that are school age now, so he doesn't care.
So you've got 30 seconds, and the Premier is on the phone, and you have 30 seconds to say something to him. How do you use your 30 seconds?
Basically, it's time to open things up. It's time to care about the kids. It's time, don't give us this, we're doing it for the kids' safety, because their safety is not at risk. I mean, at the bare minimum, when you look at the cases, I mean, your announcement during the news was just, there's one, my kids happen to go to school in the Lanark County area, there's one case in all of Lanark County. One case. I mean, the whole numbers are in the Toronto area. Open it up in zones.
Right, so you're hoping, obviously, let's say Lanark opens, but zones that have a lot of higher cases, they would remain closed.
I mean, I don't think so. Personally, I think it's better for the kids because I know the factors that affect the kids. I think it's better to open them up. I mean, they're at low risk of COVID anyhow. I mean, if you look at the stats, kids don't die from COVID. It doesn't happen.
Let me ask you this, Derek. Do you think it's pressure from the teachers' unions?
I have no idea, but I just don't think they know what they're doing. I mean, when you lump them all together as quote experts, I mean, at the beginning they say don't wear a mask, and then they say wear a mask, and then I think Trudeau came on and said, hey, take the first vaccine you're offered, and now there's a big kerfuffle because AstraZeneca is dangerous and stuff. I don't think they know what they're doing.
It is very, very frustrating for sure.
But what we do know is that keeping kids out of school is not good. That's it.
Really appreciate your call today, and certainly appreciate your point of view as a parent for sure, Derek. Thank you so much for calling.
Off my chest. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And if you have something you want to get off your chest, maybe it's you're trying to book your vaccine for your 80-year-old mother like I was. Maybe you're thinking about your kids. I as well have a 13-year-old daughter, and I was hoping she was going to head back to school. City News, of course, is going to be staying on the breaking news from Queen's Park. We're expecting to hear some news around 1 o'clock today. Mark Day and Sarah Buchan will make sure you absolutely hear the latest news when they hear it so that you can plan for your family. Because I think that's one of the biggest challenges we know about in terms of schools is it's really, really hard to plan as a parent. It's very, very hard to work from home, right? There's, requests for goldfish crackers and, come and look at my art project and all of those things, which is great and great parts of being a parent, but it's also hard to be an employee. It's very, very challenging for parents right now. Are you a parent? Are you tired? Are you frustrated? Are you a grandparent? Because I would love to hear from you as well. I know grandparents, certainly my mom has helped out during this time as much as she can safely. Are you a grandparent? Are you nervous about the kids not going back, or are you happy to hear that potentially they won't be going back? We'll hear that final decision today from Education Minister Stephen Lecce and, of course, Premier Doug Ford a little bit later today. So we're going to be watching that for you. We wanted to talk to Steve in Lanark about vaccines. Hi, Steve.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Good. We talked yesterday, and I brought up the question about having these clinics run 24/7 instead of 9 to 5. You think that's going to be done?
I can't see it, to be honest. I think they would have done that, but that's just my own personal opinion, Steve. What do I know? I'm just a radio host. But,
I understand that,
but in terms of...
to the world there,
yeah.
People are listening, right?
Absolutely. Well, we're certainly hoping they're listening to City News. I know you do, and I appreciate it. I think probably from the perspective of, I think they would have done that from the beginning, if they would have. So. But you made a really good point yesterday, Steve. I actually thought about it after the show, and you make a really good point about people working shift work.
just can't get squeezed in to get their shot. And I imagine they're a little frustrated about it with OHIP and stuff. They should be able to set something up that they could run 24/7 someplace and people could show up and get it done if they want to get it done. I haven't got it done. It's been out there for 15 months now, right? This COVID crap. And I'm healthy.
Are you trying to book your vaccine? Are you anxious?
No, I'm not even interested in getting it.
Oh, you're not going to get it. Okay.
Well, I've never seen the side effects and everything else, there's complications with that. My dad got it, and he had some kind of, small side effects out of it, but, if it's going to get you, it's going to get you, right? But I'm not interested in even getting it. I'm healthy and stuff, and I'm 65 years old, and I go all the time. I work for the Mr. Natchez, I'm in the bush all the time, and I just don't really get it, so I don't see it out in the bush.
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
You're running around with COVID. The fox, the coyote's not running around with COVID, but just around, it seems to be around the seniors and stuff in the old age homes where there's massive people. I'm just not interested in getting it myself. So.
I mean, everybody has their own personal preference. I think a lot of people do get it for their family members, right, to protect their family members as well. So that's another
around them,
Yeah, absolutely.
But this thing now with people today, you can't get a couple of feet away from a person. We used to spit on each other years, from a year ago, and nobody was getting COVID then, but now we can't even get close enough to even talk to us. You can't hug a person, that thing, or shake a hand.
Were you speaking moistly to people, Steve?
Pardon me?
You were speaking moistly to people?
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, you can't, people get so up about this, stand back and stand in this dot and go over that dot and go over here. It's you go to the beer store here in Smith Falls, you got to stand on one dot and move to the next dot and move to the next dot, and we got to line up the rest of our lives. That's the way I look at it. We're going to have to line up the rest of our lives.
I do worry about that, too. I worry about that from lots of different perspectives. I worry about that from our children's perspectives as well.
Sure, yeah. I see the school thing, even though the kids, they're missing some time, they're still going to learn. You learn every day, right? You learn something new every day. I do anyway. I don't know everybody else. But the kids are going to miss a little bit of time, so what? They're going to learn.
Yeah, it's frustrating to work from home and try to have, my daughter's 13, but, I think about my friend who's got, someone in senior kindergarten, he's got another one in grade 3, to try and manage that and be an employee at home. It's very hard.
Likely at home, you're teaching your daughter, right, to do things, and she'd like to learn more from you than she is from some teacher.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the Catholic thing here with the kids and stuff that happened there. I think all these Catholic organizations should be investigated based on what took place out there.
Well, and I think it's a really important point that it's just not Catholic churches, right? We know that a number of other churches are involved, but but I get your point that there's definitely be an inquiry for sure. Steve, really appreciate it.
There could be the same thing. There could be 50 people buried over in Waverly or, that type of thing. Who knows, So they discovered that out west. It could be all around. You never know. Hopefully it ain't.
And of course, many people are calling for the review at every single school to see if there are children buried on site at those schools, which is heartbreaking. We know we've heard various numbers that potentially it is, and it's just every single life lost is a heartache. So thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate your time.
Okay, well, thank you very much. You have a great day, okay?
You too, Steve. Take care. We wanted to speak with Armand about schools. Hi, Armand.
Hi, how are you again? I'm a little still upset about when I spoke to you about the closing of the schools when we first found out about, technically speaking, found out about it. But I have a problem. Why can't this guy in Toronto, wherever he wants to be called, go by region? There are some parts in Ontario got zero.
Right.
They're at home. Come on, give us a break here,
Yeah, it is very, very frustrating for sure, Armand. I know we haven't heard officially from the province, but the rumors are we certainly have heard multiple very important resources for our sources. They're telling us that the province is going to keep schools closed for in-person learning, but we have not had that confirmed yet. But it is very, very frustrating, Armand. I really appreciate the call today. We have to take a quick break, but we do want to hear from you. Call us at 613-750-1310 here on City News.
This hour of the Rob Snow Show is brought to you by Cardinal Planning. Protect your wealth. Visit cardinalplanning.ca.
The Wowza Savings savings event is back at Food Basics. Until June 2nd, 15 double rolls of cashmere bathroom tissue are only $4.97 each. Squeaky clean savings. Get new deals every Thursday at Food Basics. Always more for less.
What do you get the dad that has everything?
Here's something he'll never see coming for Father's Day. The flight of a lifetime with Sundance balloons.
Help him soar over 1,000 feet in the air with a Sundance Balloons flight for Father's Day.
Ask about their limited time Father's Day sale.
Give your Father's Day gift a lift with Sundance Balloons. Visit SundanceBalloons.com.
What does it feel like to play Lotto 649? Well, with an upcoming jackpot of an estimated $5 million, just having a ticket feels a lot like that moment between and... So get that 649 feeling. Buy your ticket today to feel the anticipation that comes with a chance to win a jackpot of an estimated $5 million, plus the guaranteed $1 million prize. Check out my new Ford Escape. It's a hybrid. Oh, you mean that SUV with all those smart features? Yeah, it is high-tech, but I said hybrid. It has over 900-kilometer range. Oh, the one with the banging stereo. Yeah, but that's hi-fi. I said hybrid. Forget it.
Get more streets in the 2021 Ford Escape. Purchase finance for 0% APR up to 72 months. Plus, get no-charge all-wheel drive on most new 2021 Escape models, like the available hybrid. Contact your Ford dealer of Ottawa or visit Ford.ca.
You've now made your contribution to your RSPs for the 2020 tax year. Just one more thing to do. Check your rate of return. You can transfer your RSPs to Advanced Mortgage Investment Corporation with a proven 6-year compounded return of 7.7% by buying preferred shares in a pool of professionally underwritten local alternative mortgages secured by real estate assets. Make your RSPs, RESPs, and TFSAs work for you. Learn more at advancedmic.com.
New COVID-19 variants are more dangerous than ever. Still, Justin Trudeau refuses to close border loopholes. More than 88,000 travelers were given exemptions from the rules the rest of us have to follow, and the federal government won't say why. What does Justin Trudeau's health minister think?
The more countries that have outbreaks, the less relevant borders become.
Nobody wants a fourth wave. It's time to act. Authorized by the CFO for the Ontario PC Party.
The Wowza Savings event is back at Food Basics until June 2nd. 300-gram Dare Maple Cream Cookies or 225-gram Bread and Crackers are only $1.67 each. Crunchy savings. Grab new deals every week at Food Basics. Always more for less.
It's time to talk back.
On the Rob Snow Show.
Have your say and call now.
613-750-1310.
We don't want you to be shy. We want you to call in 613-750-1310. I'm Sam LaPrade filling in for Rob Snow. I want to talk about anything you want to talk about. Of course, household name Theresa Tam has certainly shared many important words for us as Canadians regarding vaccines. We're going to hear from her now.
People who received a first dose of AstraZeneca Covishield vaccine may receive either AstraZeneca or Covishield vaccine or an mRNA, so Pfizer-BioNTech or Moderna vaccine for the second dose, unless contraindicated.
Really important to understand how frustrated Canadians are. Dr. Theresa Tam, of course, also talking about the AstraZeneca dose.
The interchangeability of vaccines means that you can receive one vaccine product for your first dose and safely receive a different vaccine for your second dose to complete your 2-dose vaccine series for optimal protection from COVID-19.
I don't know about you, but I've received the AstraZeneca dose, and I'm always looking for information on this. Of course, Dr. Theresa Tam, talking about what this means for Canadians who's received the AstraZeneca shot.
Try and use the same vaccine for the mRNA for the second dose. But if you can't find it, or you don't know what someone had, whether it was Pfizer or Moderna for the first dose, then another mRNA vaccine can be considered.
We're hearing, of course, lots of Canadians confused, as we said. She addresses the concern.
we will get more data. And I think SBC, as Dr. New has said, when Nancy recommended the initial interval recommendation, people were understandably had lots of questions. But we know that we have to monitor this on an ongoing basis.
We absolutely do have to monitor it on an ongoing basis. We look to Dr. Tam and other public health officials for those answers. It has been confusing. Do you find it confusing? Are you frustrated? Are you still searching for your first dose? Are you looking for that first jab in the arm to say, you know, you're on the vaccine train? Are you still looking for that? Are you concerned about booking a second dose? Maybe you're like me, you're Team AstraZeneca, and you're looking for that second one. Lots of confusion there, certainly. Are you concerned about schools? We know we're watching Queen's Park very, very closely today. We understand there's going to be an announcement out of Queen's Park today at 1 o'clock or thereabouts. We know Premier Ford tends to be a little bit late, but we will be watching that. Our team here at City News, Sarah Buchan and Mark Day, will be following that for you and bring you the absolute most up-to-date news there. Are you thinking, as we all are, about the 215 children who have been discovered their remains in Kamloops, BC, at an Indigenous residential school? It is really heartbreaking. We've talked about it a lot this week, but I want to talk about it more because the only thing that is going to have change in this country is to have these tough conversations. What do you want to talk about? I understand Alec from Avonmore wants to talk about schools. Hi, Alec.
Yeah, I got cut off yesterday there a little short, but I want to say my little brother, he's in the 12th grade, and I just finished college actually. Just the quality of education. It's not about the kids being in or out of school, but the quality of education that's being taught online is, compared to when I was in high school, just brutal. Like, there's no tests. I mean, hell, if a kid wants, they can call up their best buddy on the phone and do the test together. So, I mean, you got to think long-term future here, how the kids are actually, what they're actually learning.
Are you concerned, Alec, about your little brother, maybe then what he does next? Is he going to be fully prepared for either college or university or maybe another path?
And that's what I'm worried about. Like, my brother's a smart guy, and you look at it, that like, when I was in college, and I was in class all through high school, and even I got my arse kind of whooped a little bit when I was there, and I finished college as well online, and that was no cakewalk trying to learn engineering yourself. I mean,
absolutely
brutal. And
well, I really appreciate your time today. Thanks so much, Alec, for calling in. We want to hear from you. Are you like Alec? Do you have maybe a grade 12 student in your life? Are you a grade 12 student? I would love to talk to you to talk about what this year's been like for you, how you're going to sort of end your school year. I would love to speak with you. I'd also love to speak with somebody that maybe graduated from grade 12 last year and what that was like to transition into college or into university. How hard was that for you? I know there's lots of frustrated parents out there, and I know there's lots of frustrated teachers. I have the utmost respect for teachers. It is absolutely not a job I could do, and I certainly learned that during this pandemic. I am no good at grade 8 math, just so we're clear. Thank heavens I don't need to do that here while I'm working at City News, do any grade 8 math, but it certainly is not a topic I'm very good at. We wanted to speak with Adrian in Smith Falls. Hi, Adrian.
Hi.
Adrian, I understand you wanted to speak about the genocide, the tragedy, the discovery of the 215 children in Kamloops.
Yeah, so this is not new information, and I'm glad that people are taking notice. But Europeans have been killing natives for 200 years, and there's mass grave sites, I imagine, all over North America.
Yeah, it is very.
Now we're taking notice.
Well, I think it was the worst kept secret, and it was just a matter of who was going to take action. And I think we've heard that over and over again. And we look back at the Truth and Reconciliation report, and we know that was something that was very, very prominent in that report, and it's taken too many years.
Right, and the fact that that residential schools were still going on during modern Canadian society is really pathetic.
It is.
And even under Trudeau's father, which, when he comes out here and says his spiel a bunch of crap, like, his father was part of the whole thing. He would have had control over that. Like, didn't do anything then.
It is tragic.
Trudeau wants to say sorry for it?
It is absolutely tragic. Adrian, I'm so glad you called. We've got a bit of a rough line. I encourage you to call back again and share your thoughts. That's Adrian from Smith Falls sharing on the Porsche tragedy in Kamloops. And I think it's a really good point. There was certainly not a grave site at my school. I'm sure there was not a grave site at your school. And it's really, really crucial that we think about every single residential school. We know there's upwards of 130 in this country, that every single one of them has this same inquiry, the same opportunity to search those grounds for those mass graves. We know that only 51 children were recognized as deceased at that residential school, but when in fact the remains, the bodies of 215 have been found. When we come back, we want to hear from you. We have another half an hour to talk to you, and we definitely want to do that. You want to talk about the military? Is that got you talking to your friends and family? If you want to talk about the crisis in the military, if you want to talk about vaccines, gun violence, I'm up for any topic today. Call us at City News 613-750-1310.
This hour of the Rob Snow Show is brought to you by Cardinal Planning. Protect your wealth. Visit cardinalplanning.ca. It doesn't take long to make a difference. It only takes an hour. An hour to give with Sam LaPrade.
A program dedicated to causes and charity in our community.
This week, your host, Sam LaPrade, speaks with guests from the Montfort Hospital Foundation about their continued focus on the needs of East End residents and the latest news on the opening of the New Orleans Health Hub.
An hour to give with Sam LaPrade.
Saturday and Sunday morning at 8
on City News
101.1 FM
and 1310 AM.
What's the recipe for an Ottawa summer day? 1 part Parliament views, 2 parts ice cream cones on the canal, topped with sizzling steaks on the barbecue. Find the perfect ingredients for your Ontario summer at Metro. Get inspired at metro.ca/summer.
Summer Solstice Indigenous Festival and Music Awards, sharing knowledge and celebrating Canada's diverse Indigenous cultures with performances by Canada's best Indigenous artists, cooking and craft workshops, online marketplace and virtual powwow, drive-in movies and concerts. Summer Solstice Indigenous Festival and Music Awards, June 1st to 21st. More at summersolsticefestivals.ca. Presented by Rio Tinto, BMO Financial Group, and Post Media.
The 2021 Ford F-150 is driven by innovation. Built with best-in-class available towing and payload, plus available class-exclusive Pro Power onboard to help you power up your day for both work and play. Right now, get 1.49% APR purchase financing for up to 72 months, plus $1,000 factory order bonus on select new 2021 F-150 models. Order your new F-150 today. For details, contact your Ford dealer of Ottawa or visit Ford.ca.
What's the recipe for an Ottawa summer day? 1 part Parliament views, 2 parts ice cream cones on the canal, topped with sizzling steaks on the barbecue. Find the perfect ingredients for your Ontario summer at Metro. Get inspired at metro.ca/summer.
Number 1 for local news in Ottawa and the Valley. This is City News, now on 101.1 FM and 1310 AM.
It's Wednesday, June 2nd. Good morning. I'm Andrew Boyle. Right now in Ottawa, 22 degrees. In Smith Falls, it's 21. And here's what's making news this hour. The province releasing daily figures showing 733 new cases of COVID-19 today. 41 of these new cases are in Ottawa, 3 in the Eastern Ontario Health Unit. There's 1 each in Renfrew and Leeds-Grenville-Lanark. Now, the new cases come from just over 31,800 tests. The province also says there were 25 more deaths. Decision on schools and whether they reopen to in-class learning before the end of the academic year apparently being made this afternoon at 1 o'clock. Now, City News has learned the Premier is leaning toward keeping them closed, but the final decision had yet to be made. There are groups and individuals, though, who say getting children back into the buildings would be crucial for their mental well-being. Stay with City News for more on this developing story. Again, the media briefing coming this afternoon at 1. Information is being sent to all Indigenous communities today outlining the process to access money from a fund that helps people find missing loved ones. Calls are growing for examinations of all residential school properties across Canada to search for graves of missing children after 215 were discovered in Kamloops. Crown Indigenous Affairs Minister Carolyn Bennett also says Catholics should be pressuring their church to do the right thing and apologize for the part it played in the residential school program. City News Time, 10:32. I'm Andrew Boyle. For news anytime, follow up online at ottawa.citynews.ca.
Talk back. Hello.
On the Rob Snow Show. The phone lines are open at 613-750-1310.
Now, Rob Snow Show continues.